Hi everyone, it's time to play some chess against Reina Roja with my Scotch Turf NBN deck. I don't really like playing against Reina Roja because I have a lot of cheap ice and I want to rest them cheaply. Reina Roja would stop that. So I see an Enigma, I see two agendas, I mulligan into a worse hand, so that was really bad. I was hoping that she didn't have any sort of R&D digging, and because she's Reina Roja, there's a good chance that she's packing in the count siphon, and I don't want that to hit me. So I ice HQ, but I leave the door open for her to access, even though there's an Astro Script and Build in there. I didn't really have a choice there. She then hits R&D, but no luck, and I dig out with a green double clearance, and decide to install Toll Booth over R&D to permanently seal it off. I don't really want to have her hitting R&D every turn. She brings out a blind mimic, which is useless, although it does work against Muckraker. I think she saw the Muckraker, hence she played the mimic. Meanwhile, I get a remote server going. Hopefully she cannot infiltrate it this turn. I need to play very fast because I don't think I can stand to it late game with all the credit denial and emergency shutdowns available. Again, I leave the door open because account siphon is a real thing and it's really scary. She doesn't check the remote at all, I score it for free. Meanwhile, she continues preparing and installs a rook on my Toll Booth. I can't resist this turn, so I have to let her through. It's pretty annoying, but well, not much I can do about it. And because I know the rook is going to stick, I'll just trash the Toll Booth since I haven't rest it anyway, and replace it with a paper wall, getting rid of the rook. Then I install a Muckraker over HQ to further solidify my HQ defense, and finally the Bernice Mine goes into R&D. So now both central servers have a means of tagging the runner, which is pretty important. Now the pawn appears, and I know that she's going to get the rook back up very soon. Yeah, in retrospect, I should have installed over the pawn with my Enigma, but I didn't. Instead, I have a paper wall, which is defending my project view. However, she has a knight, and as a result, she gets into the server and scores my view. This is not an Astro Script, but that was pretty painful. And the worst thing is that now, since the knight has been trashed, she can now use pawn to recurse the knight. But, well, okay, what happened was that last turn she forgot to upgrade the pawn to a rook. So there was, I deleted the piece of ice thinking that the pawn was still there, when in actuality it had been converted to a rook. So, yeah, after some discussion, we reverted back to the game board state. Unfortunately, he knows that there's a paper wall over R&D now. Anyway, but not much I can do about it. The game continues, and I have trouble dragging the ice around the octagon interface. I think long and hard about my third move. It was quite a tough decision, but in the end I decided to solidify my remote server with an Enigma. At this point, I need to... Oh, sorry, not the remote server, the HQ. Yes, because there was a rook residing there, and I didn't want to pay so much money to rest stuff, so I had to get rid of my ice. Yeah, I've been destroying a lot of my own ice, which is not what you want to do as a corp. Yeah, every time you install an ice, you're spending credits and wasting turns. But if I'm trashing ice that I haven't rest yet, and this ice is hosting an enemy program, it's quite a good thing that I'm trashing it. So I installed a restructured data pool in my remote, hoping that I can defend it. Rook. Meh. Well, it's not a knight, so you're gonna lose your entire turn. However, I forgot about the -2, -1. I mean, +2, +1 credit cost. Now I only have 2 credits left, which means I cannot score the restructured data pool this turn. Oh man, that's tough. That is really, really tough. So I had no choice but to distract him with Jackson Howard. Hopefully, he installs a yacht. He runs in my server. He scores 3 points. That was terribly painful. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I think it's because I don't really have much experience but playing corp against Reina. I should always expect that the rook will appear, and I should calculate such that I have enough money to rest the ice and advance my agenda next turn. But I didn't, and I paid the price. He's now a match point. Now runs R&D. I get 1 free credit. And he hits the paper wall that he knew existed. He already has 2 of his 3 breakers out. I'm becoming very vulnerable. I draw a restructure. I sigh when I saw it. That is a dead card. So instead of doing anything, I chain my Astro scripts instead. Nothing much else I can do here. He gets his Xanadu and starts rampaging on my HQ, which I really couldn't care less about. Oh, but the clone chip is scary. Clone chip on chess playing Reina. Anytime she needs a knight, it's summoned for free. Anytime she needs a rook, well, you've got it. Since I have Jackson, I start drawing up. I drew a lot of cards. Spoiled for choice on what to install. In the end, I chose to install the Sensen and discarded everything except the project view, because I knew that she would check archives on to make sure that she finds nothing there and waste a turn. I was also forced to chuck away the restructure because it was a dead card right now. There was no way I was going to get to 10 credits. Pawn goes on the bot window. And it was at this point that I realized pawn can only be hosted on the central server. That's something quite important. If you know you're playing against a chess playing enemy, you want all 3 servers to either have no ice or a lot of ice. Then during your turn, you can trash the pawn by installing over. Yep, as I mentioned, the clone chip was used to summon the knight, and she was able to break through my R&D. As a double bonus, because the innermost piece of ice I have is a paper wall, the pawn was able to advance and become a knight or a rook that very turn, even though it was on the second layer because the paper wall got trashed. Well, that's unfortunate for me. So between my paper walls being trashed by breakers and me self-trashing my ice, my servers look like they are not well protected at all, as if it's turn 3 or 4 or something. So few ice out on the table. What a pity. I get a lot of credits, and it was at this point I wish I had a restructure in hand. But I don't, so all I have is a Snoop. I was thinking of where to put the Snoop, or whether I should even put the Snoop. Maybe I should use my Jackson Howard to summon more cards instead. I don't know. But R&D was looking very porous, so would probably do me good to install the Snoop over R&D. That's exactly what I did. Yes, Reina has a plus crit out now, so gone are my hopes of flatlining her. And it was at this point that I realized that there was a Bernice Mai in my R&D that I installed way earlier that we totally forgot about. I could have tagged her then. She has a Corroder out now, so all 3 breakers are out. Meanwhile, I score a build to tighten the game, close it up at 6 points. She runs a Sansan, obviously, crushing it. Right now the game is getting very dicey. I need to dig for my agenda, and she needs to dig for the agenda as well. I draw a hedge fund, and obviously I crack up to 9 credits for that. Right now I'm digging for breaking news because I'm on 6 points. But actually any 3-point agenda would do. 2 or 3-point agenda because I have an extra script token. I see 2 emergency shutdowns and a clone chip. The clone chip is the main target, really. Of course, you cannot beat the trace, and so I get to get a free shot at destroying 1 card in my hand. Who says I can't be an arc as well? So the Bernice Mai, I summon it as well, and stick a tag on her for extra measure. She doesn't find anything in R&D, which is awesome. Now that leads her to believe that there's something in HQ, which isn't the case. I let her go through for free. But knowing that she has an emergency shutdown and she's probably going to use it on my Snoop, I had to act first, using my token to trash her clone chip. Clone chip is definitely causing problems, so that has to go. She continues raiding HQ, but obviously there's nothing for her. I start drawing cards, and I see something that I really want to see. My Astro script. Next turn. It's gonna happen. Unless she picks it up from HQ. Oh, I can't really do much. I need to save the money to rest the Snoop for R&D. I knew R&D was going to be more troublesome. And so I did. I rest the Snoop, and I got it to trace. And I also activated Bernice Mai to give her the second tag. So, but it doesn't matter, the tags don't matter anymore. Now, all that matters is that I get to my next turn and I score the extra script from him. I have 3 credits, exactly enough to win. In addition, I use my Jackson Howard to dilute my R&D pool, knowing that there are a lot of genders inside. Alas, it wasn't to be. He scored the data pool to close the game. That's it. Thanks for watching.